up, War Rapport family? We are back with another great edition of Building Rapport. Fans want to know, are we done yet? Joining me is Director of Football and Recruiting Relations, Trovon Reed, to talk about whether Auburn is done yet in recruiting. Trovon, thanks for joining me. Let's jump right in. Recruiting is on fire right now at Auburn. You've been a big piece of that. You've been very outspoken on social media about the work that Auburn is doing in recruiting. I want to start with you as somebody who's a former player and is not that removed from the process of being recruited. What do kids care about in recruiting today? You've got NIL and you've got all this stuff going on, but when you were a player, what mattered to you and how is that different from what kids are looking for today?
For me, when I was a player, I was looking for someone who's going to mold me from a boy to a man. My recruiting, it was a little different. It was a little different because of my circumstances at home. Dad wasn't around much. Mom passed away my junior year. And it left me kind of lonely, but not too lonely. I had Sean Nelson, who I now call father. He's like a father figure to me. He took me in and he helped me with this process, but it's different now, man. I was a guy, I was looking for love. I just wanted to be loved. I just wanted another man to tell me he got my back and he meant it. And that's what Trooper Taylor did. And
Trooper recruited you?
Yes.
Okay, tell us what that was like.
It was great, man. It was someone I could relate to. He came to my school first time I seen him. He had blue jeans on, a white T-shirt, and some Timbs with his hat to the back.
Yeah, that sounds like Trooper.
I'm like, hey, I could relate to that.
Yeah.
You know, I never knew how to tie a tie. None of that. Like I grew up in a small country hood town, and I didn't have time to learn. I had to grow up fast, and my recruitment was special for me because I found a father figure in Troop, who I still call father to this day. So nowadays it's a little different. A lot of stuff legal now, and these kids, I feel like they deserve the NIL, but again, it's a different world, and we all got to adjust to it. I'm not gonna be the judge to say if a kid getting too much money or he ain't getting enough. That's none of my business. Right. I stay in my lane, but they do deserve something. And shout out to the youngins. I wish my era would have got a piece of this.
It's definitely a different world that we're living in, with NIL, but. I want to go back to the other aspects of the recruitment, playing time, environment, atmosphere, family. You said you were looking for love, right? Like, when you're talking to recruits today, is that what, when a recruit comes into your presence, is that what you're giving? Hey, if you come to Auburn, you're going to be loved, you're going to be accepted, you're going to be part of a family that will never go away. Is that still the number one recruiting pitch to get guys to Auburn?
100%, because I don't really have to sell you nothing about Auburn. When you come here for a game, you see it for yourself. So I'm not about to sell you on the Eagle flight or our fans. Man, we have the best fans. I'm going to tell you that one time. I ain't going to say it no more. I'm going to let you come to the game and see for yourself.
Yeah, right.
We have the coolest traditions. When we win, you're going to see that.
How big was the Iron Bowl then? I mean, obviously it didn't end the way you wanted to, but what an environment.
It was a crazy environment, and I know for a fact, if we get a guy on this campus and he come to a big game, I don't have to sell you anything. So I am going to love on you. I am going to show you what Auburn did for me. I'm not going to talk down on other schools to get you to come to this school. I don't have to do that. And in this profession, it's sad because a lot of people do, but that's just how some of them recruiters know. That's how you do it.
You're running into negative recruiting from other schools a lot?
I'm not into it, so I can't even really speak on it. But
right.
When I'm talking to a kid, I don't speak on no other school. I never bring another school up because I don't have to, because we got everything they got.
Well, let's talk about your day-to-day. So in your capacity of director of football and recruiting relations, you're not really on the road, but you do come in contact with kids at what points when they come on campus, when they're at official visits, what is your contact with recruits like? And, it sounds like maybe you have a limited amount of time to make an impact. you're doing that clearly.
Yes, sir.
It's everybody can't stop talking about what an impact you're having on that. But tell us about your day-to-day and how you come in contact with recruits and how you're turning that into gains for Auburn football.
I really can't explain it, but I'll try to.
Okay.
It's constantly building a relationship. It's a real relationship. It's not because I'm recruiting you. I mean, I have some of these guys, when they call and go to other schools, they call me and say, man, coach, I just want to let you know I love you and I want to keep this relationship for life. Because that's the type of relationship it is. Like, I'm not doing this to recruit you. I haven't fell into that world yet. I still think like a player sometimes. Yeah. And I know what I want and I know what I needed as a young man first. So it's everything I'm going to give a recruit is going to be genuine. I'm going to build a relationship with you. I'm going to build with you. I'm going to know everything about you. You're going to know everything about me. It's not a one-way street. Like, we're going to be upfront with each other. I'm going to tell you where I went wrong with my money in the NFL to make sure you don't do that. I'm going to teach you the things that I did wrong when I was here, what I didn't take serious, what hurt me in my process. I'm going to speak on all those things with you as a young man. So when you get here, I'm on you. I'm not going to let you slack in those areas. I'm not going to let you slack. Even if you go somewhere else and I see you balling and you happy there, you're doing your thing. If you're having a good game, I'll be the first one to call you and tell you have a good game within the rules. Yeah. You know, if you're having a bad game, I'll be the first one to tell you, hey, you need to fix this, this, and this within the rules. You know what I'm saying? So it's, man, I build genuine relationships, and some of the families, they speak about it in the media. I don't really speak about it, but they do, and I appreciate them for that.
When you're talking to kids, you mentioned talking about some of the things that happened to you even at the pro level. You know, your experience going from college to professional football, are you finding that is weighing heavy with kids in terms of relating to where they are and where they want to be?
It's a little different now.
Right. It wasn't that long ago.
Right.
Yeah.
And it's crazy. It wasn't that long. Like, I retired in 2021, but college football is so different now in 2023. Like, a lot of these guys got the money that I worked for my whole NFL career. You getting it as a 17-year-old, and nothing is wrong with that. I want to show you how to manage that. Right. I want to make sure you putting that up so when you do get out of here, you're not in the situation that I was in. I put myself in a situation mentally. I had to make it in football. Right. And whether it's right or wrong, it was my way of telling myself I have to go get my dream, something that I dreamed of my whole life. So I tricked myself into thinking football was all I had. I had a degree. I could have got any job I wanted, but I wanted football. Yeah. And nowadays you get some young men who, when they get this money, they feel like they made it. Yeah. You know, they think this the end goal. And if it is, I respect it. But your 4 years, give everything you got. You know, so, but I put myself in a situation where NFL was it. It was nothing else. That's what I wanted, and I made sure I went and got it.
Let's talk about Coach Hugh Freeze and what it's like working for him. Obviously, it's his first year on the Plains, and Hugh Freeze came in and immediately started preaching that you guys had to recruit. You had to bring in lots of talent early and often. He put his focus there. When I talked to you at Big Cat, you said top 5. A lot of people thought that could be a stretch. We reported, we said, hey, Trovon said top 5. 7, you're 7 now. Like, how likely is it Auburn hits that top 5 this recruiting cycle?
I think we could do it. Yeah. I think we could do it. I think there's a few more high school ballers out there. Can't speak on their name, obviously, but there's a few more guys out there that we're going to go after, and we're going to go after them hard. Will we get them? I don't know. I can't promise you nothing, but I did promise you top 5, and I don't like breaking promises, so hold me to it.
All right.
Hold me to it.
Look, 6 top 100 kids in this class. I'm speaking of the 6 that have already signed. You guys attacked skill position really intensely this recruiting cycle, but you have some work to do left at O-line. As somebody who was a top 50 recruit yourself coming out of high school, How do you get so many good players to want to come play with each other without them feeling like they have to compete against each other? I asked Hugh Freeze about this in the press conference, and early playing time was an early pitch to a lot of these kids, but at some point you accumulate enough talent that maybe you can't promise that to a kid that's coming in.
Right.
What do you feel like is making all these top 50 players want to play together right now?
These guys looking at an opportunity to come change a program, not just for right now, for years to come. The opportunity is there. Other schools, they've been at the top before. They know what it feel like, and they did it with
Alabama, Georgia.
They've been there with good players.
Yeah.
LSU got a Heisman quarterback.
Yeah.
When they had both Heisman quarterbacks, they was winning.
Yeah.
So you have schools who's done it in this league, and now it's our turn. These guys believe that, and we're going to achieve it.
Yeah. Like I said, 6 top 100 kids. I think Georgia currently has 10 top 100 kids. You guys currently have more top 100 kids than Alabama, knock on wood. We'll see if it finishes that way. But let's talk about the state and winning back to state. For so long, Nick Saban has had his choice of whoever was here. Again, Hugh Freeze had a good track record of recruiting in the SEC before. In his first full recruiting cycle, it seems to be paying dividends. What's it been like recruiting against him and now stacking wins? You're stacking dubs right now and recruiting against him.
First off, Nick, he's the GOAT.
He's the GOAT.
He's the GOAT. But it's a new day for Auburn. We're not afraid. We're going to compete, and we're also going to compete on that field. We coming. And and not just on the field, we coming in recruiting, everything else that come with it. It's the competition of that rivalry. It never went nowhere, but it's back. It's back. It's back. It's back in all aspects, and gotta love it, man. Those guys do a great job over there. They've been doing it for years. They still doing it, but we doing it too, and we got some flavor. Coach Freeze, he got some swagger now.
He got some sauce on him.
He got some swagger, man, and we all doing it his way.
Yeah.
No one trying to outdo no one on the staff or this, that, and the third. Coach Freeze gave us a game plan that we all playing our position.
So the vision is aligned, is what you're telling me,
100%.
for the future of Auburn football. I think that's a good thing for fans to hear, that everybody is on the same page and is headed the same direction. Trovon, before we get out of here, I want to talk about that infamous "I said we ain't done yet" moment. I've been wanting to ask this question for quite some time.
Talk to me.
Look, you were on the podium. A question was asked. You're pretty annoyed, right? Walk me back through that moment. Because these kids that you're recruiting are going to have to deal with the media at some point. What did you learn from that moment? And what do you tell kids when they ask you about that moment?
Man, it was more so Marcus Peters, the guy. He's a fool, man. He's a fool, and he's a guy that he bring a certain swagger to the game and to the media. And when he said it, I stole it from him. And it's something that I've been saying for a long time. It's something I've been saying before I even started putting it out. And now when I go around town, that's all I hear. People, they buying into it.
Yeah.
Every time we get a recruit, the first thing they say, "T. Reed, are we done yet?" And I respond to a lot of them because that's how we interact, man. I just want to show recruits man, look, our fans are for us.
Right.
They're for us. A lot of schools, their fans aren't for the players. If they losing, man, we were 6-6, and we about to have a top 5 class.
That's wild.
That's a testimony to Auburn. This place is special. I don't walk around just saying something special if it ain't special. I'm not gonna call a guy special on the field if he can't catch the ball.
Right.
Nothing special about that. This place is special. It's gonna catch your attention. It's gonna catch your eyes. Man, it's one of the quietest, best cities in the world to me.
Yeah.
I've been around, and that's why I'm raising my family here. I met my wife here. Both of my kids born right here. And that's what I sell to recruits. Man, this place, that's special to me. I made enough money. I was blessed enough to make enough money in the NFL. Could have lived where I wanted to live.
Yeah.
I chose to come back here. And they chose to continue to love me like they did in 2010 when I signed that paper.
Yeah.
So it's, for me, man, I could never repay Auburn for what they did for me. But I almost cussed. I'm a darn sure try. I'm a darn sure try. I'm a darn sure try, man.
We're PG-13 here. You can say damn.
Yeah, I'm a damn sure try to give this place everything I got, because I feel like I still owe them.
Well, I know Auburn fans appreciate the spirit and the effort that you've put into helping Hugh Freeze build this program. Even before Hugh Freeze was here, you were here doing that work. You've continued it under this new coaching staff. Before we get out of here, can you look into the camera and tell fans why they should be excited about why Auburn is not done yet?
Oh, man, we really just getting started, to be honest. We really just getting started. There's more to come. If we finish top 5 this year, the goal next year, I'm going to tell you, is going to be top 3. And then it's going to be top 2 and not 2. So we're going to continue to just strive to get better. We're going to continue to try to put them wins on the field.
Yep.
Because that'll make everything much better. Yes, we're winning off the field, but now we're going to start winning on the field. Our fans deserve it. Coach Freeze deserve it. The staff deserve it. The players deserve it. Their families deserve it. Why not us?
Yeah. Trovon, I want to thank you for taking some time to join me today.
Yes, sir.
To talk a little bit about the state of Auburn football recruiting. Guys, that's it for another great edition of Building Rapport with my guy, Trovon Reed. If you want more content like this, please hit like and subscribe. We are the War Rapport on every social media platform. TW Rapport on TikTok. We're signing off, and as always, War Eagle.